Hello mates, and today we'll be talking about the guy I thought was one of my favorite fighters. That is, as you can see on the screen, Max Holloway, also known as Max Blessed Holloway. Now when I grew up, I knew that fighters are one of the most amazing and awesome people ever. And especially in the case of Max, he's known for his humbleness, kindness, humility, and pure savagery and being just a chill guy. That's his persona. But alas, I was fucking wrong because Max Holloway can't stand my favorite fighter, that is Ilia Topuria. Max has been saying a lot of shit, and from past 8 months I've seen ever since his loss, Max has become relentless on this fucking fact that Ilia is not that great. And I just can't fucking stand it, listen to his bullshit. So we're gonna be diving into this whole video in details from the UFC 300 to 308 and to his upcoming fight, about what has Max done and what he has been saying about specifically Ilia Topuria and how the fuck is he coping with it. Honestly speaking, I think he has lost it, especially when it comes to Ilia Topuria. He's been seething, mate. He has been seething and coping. That's what he has been doing, mate. He just can't fucking stand Ilia Topuria. Now before we go into this, I would like to give some historical context. So, as you know, this all started here when Max Holloway knocked out Justin Gaethje out cold, in my opinion, one of the most hardcore knockouts ever. Alright? You guys seen the fight between Gaethje and Holloway? If you haven't seen it, the fuck are you even doing if you haven't seen it? It's one of the best fights, and the knockout is just spectacular. It happened on UFC 300, I believe it was in Florida. One of the best. And from that day onwards, Max focused on fighting Ilia Topuria. He called out Ilia Topuria, saying that he has been running away from him. Well, the reality was something else. It wasn't that Ilia was running away. It was that Max just plainly hated him. He went on Joe Rogan and said the same shit. But reality remains the fact that Ilia Topuria totally slumped out Max Holloway, and Max hasn't been normal ever since, in my opinion, especially when it comes to Ilia Topuria. I think Max has become this salty motherfucker that hates fucking Ilia Topuria, and for no reason, and he has been saying a lot of shit. And recently he said something about Ilia Topuria that finally break the straw. I didn't want to make this fucking video, mate. I didn't. But then he kept on saying some shit, and I couldn't just stand there and look at it. Now this was posted according to championship rounds. Max always says Justin Gaethje hits harder than Ilia Topuria. When I was there, I did not feel like this guy Ilia he's talking about hits so much harder, but the guy must hit hard. But comparing his punch when I fought Gaethje, I felt some things. I felt like Gaethje hits hard. He said something more, I guess. Yeah, when Ilia hit, he hit me, but nothing was like, oh man, he hits hard or whatever. So basically he's saying that his punching power is not as spectacular or as powerful as Justin Gaethje. Now to my reaction, I want to say this. If Gaethje hits harder, why the fuck he wasn't able to do that to fucking Oliveira? Why couldn't Poirier do that to Oliveira, but Ilia did? Why can't Chandler do that shit? Because I will tell you, mate. Because Ilia is fucking different. That's what it is. And that's what is bothering Max Holloway. Max doesn't just like it. Now, this is the interview where Max has been saying a lot of shit. And this was said about like today. And Max like totally went off rails in this interview, talking about Ilia Topuria.
People are starting to have that conversation about, could he be the all-time pound-for-pound greatest when it's all said and done?
So he's asking about Ilia Topuria if he's gonna become a GOAT, and this is the honest reaction of Max Holloway.
I mean, for sure, you can't sleep on it, but it's just tough, right? Yeah, he has the names, right? He beat the names, and you can't deny that. But then, when you look, it just sucks that with everything that's going on. When you look at when you look at that Volk fight, with that Volk coming off of what he did, that's kind of crazy. But people just look at the name, they're not looking at the record. They're just looking at, oh yeah, Alex was the champ, and then me, and then Charles did what he did. But Charles was on him, what was Charles on? A 1 fight week straight.
No, I'm not gonna go into the full fucking video because I can barely fucking understand what Max is saying here, but I'm gonna break it down for you. He's saying that basically he's telling that Volk was coming off from a loss and Oliveira had like 1 win streak against Chandler. And when it comes to him, he's basically saying like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying about himself, but I think he's implying that he was washed. Which is fucking crazy, by the way, for a guy who's about to fight in next week. For him to say like he wasn't really himself. Crazy. So this is just pure seething, mate. There's nothing else. He's just coping hard. Alright. Here it is again. You can see this video
with everything that's going on when you look at that Volk fight, you know, with that Volk coming off of what he did. That's kind of crazy. But people just look at the name, you know, they're not looking at the record, they're just looking at, oh yeah, Alex was the champ, you know, and then me, and then Charles did what he did. But Charles was on him, what was Charles on? A 1 fight win streak, sure, that he beat in history, but the man is doing what he's supposed to do, you know, he's predict.
So, from now on, until this point, Max has implied that Ilia is not only fucking, like his punching power doesn't matter, beside his resume also doesn't matter. Like he's hitting on hard on Ilia, saying his resume is fucking not that impressive when he has beaten the likes of Volkanovski, Max Holloway himself, and Charles Oliveira, and many more guys, and he's gonna beat more. But he's saying that basically what the argument here is that these guys weren't fucking in their prime. Which is fucking insane, man. Which is fucking crazy, I must say. For a guy like Max Holloway, who is known for his class. And it doesn't end here. He said something more. I'm going to show you. He said something more that was reported about him. Yes, this. He basically said Ilia Topuria win streak is overrated. He's calling one of the best fighters pound for pound right now overrated. And of all the guys, if you want to call anybody overrated, Ilia should be the last after what he has done. I mean, respectfully saying, Max, like, I've seen your fights, man, but you weren't doing the kind of shit what Ilia did. And may I remind you, Ilia is only 28 years old. So he's got to do more. He's going to be doing more. Who knows, maybe he'll actually go out there and fucking put the lights off Makachev. Huh? You fighting Holloway, you fighting Poirier next, I believe. What if you fucking lost? And even if you didn't lose, what's next? You're gonna fight Ilia? In my opinion, I believe after this victory, Max already knew in his back that he's better at 155, right? So when he lost to fucking Ilia Topuria here, and you can look at lifeless scopes of Max Holloway there, he knew that he'll perform better at 155. But now 155 is the division of Ilia Topuria, or as I like to call it, Topuria Cartel. Is a cartel division, Topuria cartel division. So Topuria has been taken over, he's a champ and he's a pound for pound number 1, and Max is going out there saying shit like, oh well, he's not that impressive, he's overrated and shit. To me that's fucking cope, and to me that tells me that you're fucking scared. Now this shit didn't start it here, by the way. As I said, I'm going to give more insight to this fucking video. This started back in fucking the build up of 308. In this very interview on ESPN MMA, which I believe hands down is the most hilarious fucking interview ever, and Ilia Topuria here literally owns Max Holloway. He bitched and he owned Max Holloway here. So I'm gonna show you some of the movements here, starting up from where it is, 7:41, yeah.
But 2 more weeks.
I get tired of calm down. I get tired.
Calm down.
Calm down. You calm down. You calm down. And the first time,
Yes, brother.
I challenge you to have that exchange, but in the first 10 seconds of the fight.
So this is where it all started, where Ilia practically said, yeah, bring the same kind of energy you had with the Gagey into my fight. Like, come here and show me the same energy in the first 10 seconds.
And you will see what's going to happen. When you face a fighter like me inside the octagon who brings that technique and that power, you can't do that. I'm going to take you head off if you do that.
And for the rest of the interview, Max was just saying shit like, we're going to find him, buddy. We're going to find out.
With the
Up
back.
to 26. Alright. Now this was the fucking hilarious moment ever. It's a meme now. We're going to show it again.
And I saw him working with the backs. Bro, what the fuck is this? Don't do that. Don't
Brother,
do
you're
that.
doing the same exact drill on top of your own bag. What are you talking about? Same exact drill. Same exact drill. What are you talking? And you know what? You're laughing.
Joe.
What? What?
So here Max Holloway was talking about the same drill, and Ilia kind of misinterpreted it for Joe, and he said, "Who's Joe?" Well, I tell you this, Max fucking find out who fucking was Joe. Here. I hate to do this, but you gotta be honest. I'm a fan. Now there are 3 more shit over here. I believe one of the most critical moments came at 10 fucking something. 10:17.
Because he never faced Ilia Topuria. He never faced El Matador.
So, sorry for this. This is the moment where I think Max Holloway kind of realized like how fucking savage Ilia Topuria is, because he was getting owned. So let's just hear into it clearly.
Ilia, why do you think that you're the person that can knock out Max? He's never been knocked out in his career.
Because he never faced Ilia Topuria. He never faced El Matador. He never faced someone like me. Never. We had one opponent in common. What he couldn't do in 75 minutes, I did in 7. He has 7 professional defeats, I have 0. He's the challenger, I'm the champion. That's why I know that I'm gonna knock him out.
So you heard it from the champ himself. He completely owned and bitched Holloway, and you can see it on the face of Holloway right here. If you look at it, those eyes of Holloway, they're dead because he knows he's getting owned. He's getting cooked here, basically. Now, another movement here is on 15:5.
I already opened a home for all people.
Alright, this was one of those savage movements. And may I remind you, Ilia Topuria, his first language is in English, just like mine. I don't speak English very fluently. Ilia speaks fucking German, Espanol, I believe Georgian, and a little bit of Russian. So English isn't his primary language. Yet he's fucking cooking Max Holloway in front of this fucking guy. I don't know who it is on ESPN anyway. So take a look at this.
Volk already has his room. I have another one for you. So I'm gonna put you right there after October 26th. All for sponsored by Invictus.
Ilia, you said you're opening an old folks home, that Volk is already there and Max is going there. Is that what you said?
Yeah, exactly. This is what I said. All for free, don't worry. No expenses.
So you can hear the man. The guy who couldn't properly speak English is fucking cooking Max Holloway, and Max had got 0 response other than saying shit like, "We're gonna find a Saturday night, buddy. We're gonna find out October 26th. We're gonna find 20%. Well, guess what? We fucking find out on October 26th. Anyway, now part of the reason why I'm fucking so angry at Max Holloway, and I was very angry because there's a moment in this interview, on this ESPN interview. I recommend you to watch this interview. It happens on 16:36, I believe. No, sorry, 16:28.
Say the same.
No, wait. Before he goes out there, I want to say something that this is the most fucking, I believe, one of the most cringiest moment from Max Holloway, and I believe it was very racist as well, because what Max did was fucking like I couldn't even say what he was. It was fucking apprehensible. He couldn't be doing this shit. He basically mocked Ilia Topuria's linguistic skills, saying he couldn't talk.
I all the time say the same. I don't need to say anything.
What? Speak, bro. Come on,
bro.
To me, that is fucking cope and seething. He's already angry. Max is frustrated. You only say this shit to a fucking foreigner when you don't have a fucking reply. You mock his accent. You mock his culture or religion or whatever. So Max kind of did it. This is where the nice guy kind of comes to fall apart. So this is where I fucking wanted Ilia to go out there and knock him the fuck out, which he fucking did, and I'm happy he did it. Yes, I fucking said it. Cope about it. I'm gonna show you this once again.
All the time say the same. I don't need to say anything.
What? Speak, bro. Come on,
bro.
This is fucking sad, man. This is sad. You shouldn't be doing this shit.
I'm speaking in your language. Let's talk in Spanish. Let's talk in Georgian. Let's talk in Russian. Let's talk.
As I said, Ilia knows all the multiple languages. He's a fucking king, man, and he can talk and whatever. If you guys think Ilia is savage in fucking English, you should hear his Espanol. His interviews in Espanol. You will know the definition of being cold savage.
In Germany, what the f you talking about, man? Si quieres hablamos en español y te pongo en tu sitio.
And then he delves into the Espanol saying like, you got no fucking idea how fucking savage I am in fucking Spanish, man. We can beat you in any way. So Max Holloway is a fucking clown here. I'm sorry, but this whole interaction was fucking clownish and very cringy and very childish from Max Holloway. This is why I fucking hated it here. And this whole saga of Max hating on Ilia Topuria started calling him overrated from this very moment, from this very interview. And when this happened, where Ilia Topuria knocked out Max Holloway on UFC 308, unconscious, he had a zero conscience, he became even more salty. Max, as much as I fucking liked him, when it comes to Ilia Topuria, he's a fucking hater, nothing more than a fucking hater. He's a salty hater. I'm sorry, that's the reality. Now there's another moment on the post-fight interview, and here it is.
Around backstage with the UFC belt on one shoulder and his BMF one on the other.
So this is all about BMF belt, by the way. The fact that Max was having, Ilia was carrying a BMF belt around before and after the fight.
Just your thought on that.
I mean, it is what it is. It wasn't, could you imagine Islam walking around with two belts after knocking out Volk? Let that sink in. Yeah.
Now I kinda agree with him. But basically, I just know that he's coping. Because he hasn't said this shit once, he said it again. Now I don't have a fucking clip for it, but I've heard that he said it again recently when he was talking about Ilia Topuria's performance on Charles Oliveira and saying that he calls himself BMF. He said that I'm the BMF and I will take my belt. First of all, BMF is not in a fucking real belt anyway. And second of all, the fact that you care that much shows me that you're fucking salty. So this whole saga started a long time ago, and I kept silent because I didn't want to provoke anybody. But it has gone long too long. When you call one of the best fighters overrated, who is one of the most spectacular fucking fighters I've ever seen, everybody's agreeing with the fact that he's one of the most biggest knockout artists right now, and you call him overrated, that draws the line, mate. I can no longer fucking defend you. Now you had your own moment, one of the best moments ever, but you also had this. You remember this? You remember this? This was you against Yair Rodriguez. My brother, this was you against Yair Rodriguez. Yair had you running for your cash. Alright? You can't go to a war with Yair Rodriguez. If you put Yair fucking Rodriguez right now in the fucking octagon against Ilia Topuria, Ilia fucking murders him. Right there. Right? You can't be doing this shit, calling out Ilia fucking overrated while you had a fucking war with fucking this taco motherfucker who won't fucking fight Diego Lopez, by the way. And I wonder why. Anyway, so the whole moment, and then you have the whole fight. I don't want to show you the whole fight, but this particular moments, like here, I believe, even Ilia was just alright. I just want to show you this, not. And then Ilia finally put him to fucking nails. 1, 2, 3, and then hook. Finish. Yeah, that's it, mate. So I don't know why fucking Max is going out there saying shit like this and instigating hatred. And it's not only me, you can go on fucking Twitter and see it for yourself. Ilia, in my opinion, is one of the best fighters out there, and Max doesn't like the idea that Ilia is the best. Because not only he has beaten him, but he has beaten all the fucking fighters which I believe Max couldn't have beat. Like, I don't think like Max could go out there and finish Charles Oliveira in first round. I don't believe that. Because if he could, then he wouldn't have had this fight with Yair Rodriguez. Alright. And may I remind you, you had a war with Arnold Allen as well. Alright. So, respectfully saying, when it comes to Ilia, you just not on his level. That's my fucking opinion, and that's what I fucking think. So I believe now Max has a fight coming up with Dustin Poirier, I wish nothing but fucking best to Ilia for Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. Both are my fucking favorites. I would love for anybody to guys to win. I hope it's a fucking banger of fight. It will be. But at the end of the day, I just now know for a fact that Ilia Topuria lives rent-free in Max Holloway's head. And it's going to be like that. So if you like this video, man, like, share and subscribe. And I will see you again. This is MM Fanatic. Goodbye.